I didn't bring a handout for this because I wasn't sure what I was going to talk about at this meeting, if anything. But I read the paper, and I saw the article on the proposal, and I'm confused because after being at this meeting, because I was under the impression that what we were discussing was the possibility of seeking a grant to study the proposal of moving the fires, outsourcing the fire service.
Right.
There has been no proposal that I know of to actually do the thing.
No.
And I'll tell you, I came home one night, goes back maybe 15, 20 years, I came home one night to find fire engines parked out in front of the building I live in. And let me tell you, that's a very mind-focusing experience. I had to find someplace else. Fortunately, it was an opposite wing of where I lived, so my apartment wasn't damaged, but I had to find someplace to stay for a couple of days, which was interesting at best. But, you know, I've heard comments that you brought the proposal to the council at the workshop meeting. Well, I thought that's what a workshop meeting was for.
Yeah.
I'm confused. I heard proposals that you mentioned it to Lyndon. Well, of course you did. If you didn't talk to Lyndon first, there's no point in pursuing the proposal at all. It's part of the process. I like to keep in mind that the proposal is only for a study. Now, personally, I have never in my life seen, heard, or smelt anything that was so terrible that it couldn't be studied and talked about. And I'm assuming that part of this study will consist of getting input from the fire people and public safety people in the state and whomever else wants to come and testify. As far as your internal problems about committees and stuff, that's up to you. I'm not going to get into that. But anyway, if this study has to answer for me, would have to answer 3 questions. 3 all-important questions. The first has already been mentioned, and that is response time. Looking at that little map over there, the people who live over in the area of the Roselle Commons or on Amsterdam Avenue, what's the response going to be from the Linden? I don't know which fire company in Linden you're going to work with. Second, what's going to happen to our current firefighters? I would hate to think that these people who are ready to put their lives on the line for us are going to be put out of work. Are there vacancies in nearby communities or within reasonable distance that can absorb this? The third thing is the actual savings. Now, I think I heard a figure that the fire department has a budget of $3 million a year, roughly.
Yeah, roughly.
I don't know how many households are in Roselle, but I do know there's about 22,000 people in Roselle.
It's 7,000 households.
7,000 households, all right.
Yeah.
So that would multiply my number by 3, which would give a savings of about $400 per year on a tax bill by eliminating the fire department completely. However, of course, we're going to have to pay Linden.
Yes.
So it's not going to save $3 million. It's going to save, what, 1.5, maybe $1 million.
Well, Mr. Kern, but just you have to also understand, there are other costs on top of that, as far as health care, property and casualty.
I understand it.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. This is one of the 3 points the study would have to answer for me.
Yes, sir.
All right?
Yes.
I have a gut feeling, and believe me, with my gut, that can be a heck of a feeling. But I have a gut feeling that even if we outsource our fire department, we're going to have to keep an engine company and an ambulance unit here in Roselle to maintain some sort of reasonable response time. I think, and that's going to cut into the savings you're going to feel. You know, everybody wants taxes cut, but nobody wants changes made. You know, everybody wants to go to heaven. Nobody wants to die. I know how it is. So I'm saying, yes, I'm in favor of studying it, but studying it carefully,
yes, getting
input from everybody. As long as it's being done mostly with grant money,
right,
it's worth a shot. I think there's going to be problems along the way that you're going to run into.
Okay.
But until you really do an in-depth check, you're not going to know.
Right.
Anyway, I thank you for your time and your kind attention.
Always a pleasure, Mr. Kern. Thank you.